Hello, and welcome to this introduction to the Community Skills Framework. I'm Shannon Abram with the Community Roundtable. We developed this framework to help community practitioners and their stakeholders understand what skills are needed to have an effective community team. At the end of this session, you'll have an understanding of the 5 skill families, the 10 skills in each family, and how to use the framework to better understand the roles and scope of different facets of community management. We created the Community Skills Framework in 2014 to help community professionals frame the conversation with their stakeholders around the scope of community roles, talent priorities, and to identify strengths, weaknesses, and gaps on a community team. At the Community Roundtable, we use the Community Skills Framework to provide structure for our research and reporting, and to provide more information around specific roles in community management. We also use the Skills Framework to identify blind spots, those places where community managers need additional training and resources. We also use the Skills Framework to inform programming in the CR Network, our private peer community for community professionals. As we walk through the 5 skill families, it might be helpful to use our Skills Framework worksheet to keep track of strategic priorities. If you don't have the worksheet in front of you, or easily accessible, now is a great time to pause this video and get it. As a manager, you might want to identify and highlight strengths on your current team and note gaps in each family to focus on in future professional development, team planning, and hiring. As a tool for self-analysis, you can use the same worksheet to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 5 on your personal skill level. How well do your high ratings align with the priorities you see for your community? Are there others in the community or outside of it who can bolster your skills in low-rated, high-priority areas? This is a great way to plan your professional development goals for the coming year. Now, let's explore the 5 skill families. Engagement skills are likely what comes to mind when one pictures the life of a typical community manager, and these daily skills are indeed what helps communities form and grow. Engagement skills are a core community management skills family for all community roles. Without understanding engagement fundamentals, it is impossible to effectively lead online communities. Listening and analyzing is the scanning, reviewing, and compiling of key community conversations and topics to inform content and programming plan. Response and escalation is responding as appropriate to enforce community policies and guidelines, to address issues in the community, and identify those issues needing involvement from higher levels of community or organizational stakeholders. Moderation and conflict facilitation uses moderation and facilitation skills to recognize and diffuse conflicts, protect community members, and maintain a constructive, respectful tone in the community. Promoting productive behaviors includes modeling, recognizing, and rewarding the behaviors that add the most value to a community. Empathy and member support is developing activities that make members feel heard and supported, either through direct engagement or indirectly through creating content and programming that does so. Facilitating connections is understanding community members and their skills, expertise, and interests to create member collisions and direct introductions. New member recruitment involves communicating and promoting the value of the community in a way that entices new members to join. New member welcoming is building the connections and creating content and programming to help members feel comfortable, connected, and engaged in their first interactions in the community. Member advocacy is representing the needs expressed by the community or individual members to other stakeholders to ensure those needs are heard and addressed. Behavior change and gamification is concerned with identifying community members' motivation for participation and creating methods to leverage those motivators to help members find value in the community. According to our community careers and compensation research, strategic skills are the most valued skill set across all community roles, and community strategy development is the most valued of the 50 skills in the Community Skills Framework. For community professionals, this demonstrates the constant need to assess input and activity through a strategic lens. Without doing so, community professionals can quickly be consumed by reacting to tactical issues that keep them from making significant progress. Community strategy development involves identifying shared purpose and value of the community for the organization and members, how it will be achieved at a high level, and developing the business model that will support it. Roadmap development is concerned with developing the plan for operations and tactics that will allow the community to fulfill its strategic goals. Policy and guideline development is the collaboration with internal stakeholders and others to define formal policies and create informal guidelines that help members understand what is appropriate and inappropriate within the community in plain language. Content strategy development is the creation and maintenance of content structures, plans, and calendars that match the learning journey of a specific community or community segment, including defining a taxonomy and scope. Needs and competitive analysis is assessing member needs, interests, and other factors that provide opportunities for and barriers to success for the community. Needs and competitive analyses help identify gaps and risks to a strategy or plan. Measurement, benchmarking, and reporting considers the goals and value of the community, defining what matters, the metrics that best measure it, and the best comparison data in order to determine progress. Trend spotting and synthesizing is the recognition and assessment of interdependencies, understanding the ramifications and implications of a strategy or plan. This skill also helps one understand the impact of current decisions on the future state of the organization, community, and its members. Consulting skills help a community professional identify needs and opportunities, research potential solutions or approaches, build tools and templates to support an approach, and coach others through it. Executive coaching skills include the ability to understand executive context and needs, speak the language of executives, and identify how to assist executives in a way they can both absorb and put into action. Evaluating engagement techniques is the definition, testing, and measurement of the impact of engagement techniques to determine if they should be implemented, continued, changed, or replaced. Not surprisingly, our community careers and compensation research shows that the value of community management business skills grows as community managers more effectively integrate their communities with their overall organization. Directors of community are typically tasked with leading such efforts and often work with more mature or strategic communities, and that's reflected in their business skill value ranges. There are wide-ranging responsibilities involved in running a community or community program. These could include budget management, team management, vendor management, contractor management, reporting, and profit and loss ownership. Business model development concerns developing models for a community program that understand how investments and benefits accrue, the channels by which they accrue, and translating that into a financial model that includes multiple scenarios. Budget and financial management is the creation of quarterly and annual budgets based on current and expected community needs, getting support and agreement for these budgets, tracking spending compared with these budgets throughout the budgeting cycle, and adjusting costs as needed. Team hiring and management involves collaborating with HR to define new positions, interview and hire against them, as well as day-to-day team management. Governance management is the planning, documentation, and maintenance of the organizational standards and practices of your community for your team and community members. Contractor hiring and management involves collaborating with HR to define new contract positions, interview and hire against them, and the day-to-day management of contract workers. Vendor management involves collaborating with stakeholders to define requirements, identify vendors, vet selections, retain services, and manage vendor relationships and deliverables. Selling, influencing, and evangelizing is maintaining and increasing support for the community program by working to ensure others understand the opportunities and needs of the community, exerting influence to secure resources such as budget, investment, and human resources, and executive support. Community advocacy and promotion is the ability to represent the needs of the community and advocate for it in a variety of situations. Training, development, and delivery encompasses the ability to develop a training curriculum for community members and deliver or oversee the delivery of that training. Community managers place the highest relative value on content skills, although all three key community management roles place a high value on writing and communication skills. Community managers' content skills are focused on the development and production of community content and programs. At higher levels, those skills are less utilized, while being able to develop narratives and take a higher level approach to how content fits the overall story of the community becomes more relevant. Communication planning involves developing a strategic approach and editorial calendar to ensure a community is aware of and understands the priorities for the community, its content, and programming. Writing is the crafting of compelling content that maintains the voice of the community while educating, inspiring, and encouraging your community to take action. Graphics and design involve creating graphic and design elements that illustrate and enhance community content and ideas. Multimedia production concerns the creation of audio, video, and digital assets for use in your community, either as pre-produced, shareable content or in live events such as webinars and live chats. Narrative development involves developing and bringing together written, graphic, and/or multimedia elements into a strong, simple storyline that helps people understand and put information in context. Editing is the reviewing of community content and making revisions and suggestions to ensure constant voice and tone, and to improve the language, spelling, grammar, flow, and overall readability of materials. Curation is the gathering of various content, articles, posts, videos, graphics, interviews, marketing, and technical papers from internal and external sources, and vetting, organizing, and sharing the pieces that are valuable, timely, and relevant to your community. Program and event planning is the planning of live and virtual events and programs to support community initiatives to encourage participation and increase engagement. This might include both online and in-person events of various sizes, such as small training sessions, online programming, or conferences. Taxonomy or tagging management is the generation, application, and management of the electronic tags or keywords used in your community to classify and describe content to make it more findable and discoverable. SEO and/or internal search engine optimization is the development and organization of content in a way that makes it easy to find via search. Technical skills are unique in that they are the most easily outsourced and often score lower than their true importance because not everyone on a team needs each specific skill. But, as noted in our Community Careers and Compensation Report, developing a technical specialty is a great way to increase your value within a community team and add to your paycheck. Not everyone needs technical skills in data analysis, API development, or UX and design, but team members that have them provide great value. Community teams, and those who lead them, do need to understand where their technical strengths lie and what individual skills can do to strengthen the community if they are to reap the maximum benefits from them. System administration and configuration is the maintenance and configuration of a software platform to ensure optimal benefit by the members and the organization. Data collection and analysis is the ability to define, gather, clean, process, and analyze data to accurately demonstrate community growth and progress on strategically important metrics. Tool evaluation and recommendation is identifying gaps, researching and providing recommendations for platforms, tools, and services a community needs to start, grow, and thrive. Technical support provides the day-to-day support to your members and stakeholders on the technical operations of your community. This might include password resets, account creation, and troubleshooting. Member database management is managing the administrative tasks associated with community membership, including adding and removing members and updating profile information. Platform architecture and integration is the design and structure of the community platform to optimize the user experience, engagement, and business value. This includes permissioning, group, content, and integration architectures. Technology issue resolution is the ability to recognize and communicate technical issues with platforms and tools in a way that technical staff can understand and follow up to ensure resolution. Software and application programming is the ability to develop software to create web pages, algorithms, or applications that extend, support, or sustain the community. UX and design is the ability to design web pages, software applications, or processes that make tasks and behaviors easy, enjoyable, and intuitive for the user. Algorithm design and data manipulation is the ability to define the logical arguments needed to calculate results for data analysis and reporting by creating formulas, writing arguments, or creating other means to produce analysis-ready results. The Community Skills Framework gives community leaders a structured way to approach identifying opportunities and gaps to create stronger community programs. Remember, not every community manager will be good at all 50. And not every community manager needs to be good at all 50. But by thinking about the skills in the framework, you can identify the strategies, opportunities, tactics, the ways you can make your community program stronger when planning for the future. Let's review what we learned in this lesson. We explored the 5 skill families in the Community Skills Framework and the 10 skills within each family. We explored how to use the framework to better understand the roles and scope of community management, either as a professional for self-evaluation or when building a community team. To learn more about the Community Skills Framework, our community careers and compensation research, or more about our other services, visit communityroundtable.com.